XREAL One Pros can be pre-ordered since 6 months in December 2024, and they have just started shipping a few weeks ago. But there are still many people who have been waiting for theirs since forever, and surprisingly, there's still no English-speaking review about them on the internet. So you will get a short review today with my French accent, but this is all there is, so let's hope it's useful anyway. So without further ado, these are the topics I would like to talk about. But I'm not a professional, so let's hope I don't get lost into the details and I can keep that video short enough for you to watch till the end. So in short, I would like to talk about this X1 chip that they have inside, because this was a real breakthrough in XR landscape. These are not the first to have them, to have this chip. The One model before them also had the chip, so you probably heard about it. So I won't talk about this too much because I think others have done it before and better than I would do. We'll talk about the optics a little bit because this is also something new on these glasses. These are the first of their kind. I will try to mention a few issues in terms of comfort compared to, for example, the XREAL Ultras here on the right. I also have the original Unreal Air, which are older, but these are much more comfortable and they're also more recent. So I think these are a better reference in terms of comfort. And so skipping the display for now, while we talk about the optics, we will probably talk about the reflections because this is a real progress in that aspect. And then for the end, we will talk about displays and most of all try to record what it looks like to look into the glasses. But this is very difficult to capture on the video with the camera, so let's hope I can get some useful footage to show. So the X1 chip. So these glasses can do spatial computing on board. That means that you don't need any accessory or software to anchor the screen in space and look away from it. So typically when you use glasses without the X1 chip, like this one for example, you can plug any source device that can do video using USB-C or even HDMI with the powered adapter, because these don't have any battery, so you still need to carry power to them. In 0 degree of freedom, the screen is going to follow your head movements. So that can be convenient in some situations, but it can also get old if you want to look away from it to check the real world, or if you have issues with the clarity of the text or details in the edges, which was my case. In 0 degree of freedom, it was really difficult for me to read the corners. That can be an issue if you're trying to be productive, like you use a lot of text or code, or if you're playing a game, usually you would have UI elements on the corners. These might be harder to read. If you're watching a movie or a TV show, it's not such an issue, but that's a big improvement now because you can move your head just a little bit and then this is not in the edge anymore and you can see it much clearer. You don't have to put it in the center because this would crop everything on the right here, but just moving a little bit, it's fine. And you can also process the image that you are projecting into the glasses. You can make it look further away or closer, and you can also change the side of the screen from pretty small, actually, like only a tiny part of your field of view. So you can, for example, cook and cut your vegetables while watching TV, or you can make a screen that is much bigger than the field of view. So you would have to move your head to pan the viewport and see everything. But that can be useful if you need to see things from up close or to zoom in. So again, I would recommend that you check out the videos about the XREAL One and the X1 chip, because these are well made with examples of what you would see when you enable that feature. But long story short, it's a game changer. It's night and day. Not having to use a special accessory like the beam here, which is still a great device anyway, but you cannot buy it anymore. Or not depending on some software that is usually very hungry in terms of resources for your source device. That changes everything. Nebula, for example, the software that XREAL developed to use multiple virtual monitors and to put them in space and change do everything that I just described for 3 degrees of freedom. It works only on Mac OS or Windows, but if you're using Linux, you don't have it. It doesn't even work with these glasses anyway, because the features, part of the features are on board now. And it's also very hungry in terms of resources. You would need a GPU for it to be efficient. So that can be an issue if you are intending to use them on the go with a handheld device or device that's not very powerful. You could also use software on Android, this is actually what the Beam is doing. The Beam Pro is the same. They just have a particular flavor of the Android OS with some custom features to use AR space and project virtual monitors into it. But it's limited to only two windows, actually, not many windows like you would do with Nebula or with Breezy Desktop, which is software that you could get if you are using Linux and GNOME. You could project any number of virtual monitors in space, like there are videos showing 9 monitors in grid, and you can look at each of them individually, make them zoom in or zoom out. You can arrange them the way you want. So it's far superior to Nebula, but only works on Linux and GNOME at the moment. It's also much lighter on resources, by the way. Anyway, check the other videos. I said I should not get lost into the details. Optics, I said I would talk about the optics. So these are the new optics of these One Pro glasses. You can see that these are kind of rectangular. It's like a thick prescription lens, actually, while the birdbath optics of the previous glasses are like this. So you would have this slanted face here towards your eyes. And they tend to be bigger, this older design. As you can see, it's thicker and also a bit wider, I think. And you can see from here also big size difference. So this bigger size also means that they are thicker on this side. I think you can see it here, or from the sides. And that means that when you put them on your face, they would be further away from your forehead and your eyes and even your nose. So that usually gives them away. You can see quite fast that they are not regular sunglasses, which is fine, I guess, especially if you're moving your head in every direction. You might be happy that people actually understand that you're looking at something and not looking at them. But I'm not too comfortable using them in public. I don't know why. I think many people can use them in public without any issue, and I think they are right, but I'm just self-aware when I'm wearing them in public outside a train or an airplane. So, I mean, that's on me. But these go in the right direction, because since they are thinner, you can put them closer to your face. And, well, I wouldn't say that they are inconspicuous. You can still see that these are not sunglasses, but at least they are not like 5 centimeters away from your face. I mean, these are not 5 centimeters away, but anyway, you get me. It's a little bit better. I think when I put them on my nose is like there, which is not too bad. Yeah, something like this. And my eyes would be here, maybe. My eyebrows would touch the plastic here. So this more compact design I really like. And also, since they don't have this slanted face, they are not susceptible to reflections from the real world and from below. Like these were very, very vulnerable too. So how can I show you that? For example, if I move my hand here, you can see my hand in the reflections. And it's pretty obvious actually when you use them in a bright area, like in your garden, in a sunny day, you would see your t-shirt just as much as you would see the content that you are trying to view, and it would be on top of the other. So that can be quite distracting, but it can also, degrade the experience. While with this, you will get no reflections from below at all. I've been using them today in a sunny place, watching TV for a few hours, no issue. I could watch TV in the sun. Of course, they were dimmed because they are off at the moment, so the front goggles are translucent. But when they are powered, you can use some dimming, and they look completely black. Maybe I can show you that actually, real quick. I hope. This is the same with the Ultra. They also can do that actually, but let's see. Yeah, you see they are black, and I can change the dimming. So that would be minimum value. Let me wait for them to reset. Maximum, minimal, medium. So when I was outside, I was using them that way, and there was no issue. So reflections from below fixed pretty well actually. So if you were intending to use them outside, this is what you need, not the one. The one are great because they have the X1 chip, but these fix another issue. So in terms of comfort now, so I prefer them, but I like them as well. I've been using the Unreal Air before, the oldest model, and they would be painful on my ears and my nose quite fast actually. So on these, the nose pads are significantly improved. They won't leave, they will leave red marks on my nose after a few hours, but not as fast as the original Air would, and it's not too painful. The Ultras, they don't have the same nose pads. Actually the pillows there, they are the same, but the system here is different. So you can remove the metallic stems, and you have 3 sizes, while on these the stems are screwed onto the frames, and you just change this little black plastic part and the pillow that comes with it. I don't know if that's called a pillow, but that's the way I would call them today. I use the S size on this, so these are that would be the closest to the optics. So that allows my nose to go further, and that's just makes them sit closer on my face and look more like regular sunglasses. And also the field of view is also bigger because my eyes are closer to the screen. I bent them a little bit. I don't know if you can see it, but they should be straight, and I bent them a little bit so that my nose can go further. That might be something you want to do. But what I dislike more on these compared to these is the stems. They're not bad at all, don't get me wrong. I think you can wear them for a few hours without any pain, but to me there is some discomfort. Not painful, so that's okay, but these are better for me. You can see when I align the stems there on this wood table, that the distance between the ends is smaller on the One Pros than on the Ultras, and also these are more flexible than these. They are flexible still, but just not as much. They are a little bit stiffer. And also when I wear them, the weight is distributing between the nose pads, here on top of my ears, and here on the temples, and they clamp my head pretty well, not in a painful way, which makes them also more secure. While on these, the weight is distributed only on the nose pads and on top of my head, but they don't touch my temples here. So that's just a little bit better on this. Apart from that, it's really not a comfort thing, but since I'm talking about the stems, these have stems that don't snap. You can move them progressively and they will stay in place wherever you stop pushing. And that's very smooth. I like them. This is different. It's not necessarily worse, but it's different. These snap. You have different positions, fixed position, and if I open them, they snap open. Just different. Now let's see if I can show you what it looks inside. So I plugged them to the beam. I would not need the beam, I just had it at hand, so I use that, but I'm not using the spatial computing inside of it. It's just exporting 2D video, and they are doing the 3 degrees of freedom processing here. So I don't know if it looks sharp or no or not on the video, but it's probably just my camera failing to focus it correctly. But you can see that if I'm moving the glasses here, the screen stays in place. So this is the onboard 3 degrees of freedom computing, which is very convenient. And if I switch mode with the one button here, and now the screen is following my movement. So this is the 0 degree of freedom. Now I can also use ultra-wide mode. You can see the pincushion effect here pretty well, actually. I will talk about it later. No, let's talk about it now because we can see it very well. So you can see a viewport here that has the shape of a pincushion. This is an issue. I mean, this might not even be an issue, but this is noticeable only if the screen that you're showing is bigger than the field of view, which is the case here, apparently. But so if you crop the video, you can see that it's not straight on top and same on the sides. So there is this particular shape. But now I'm in ultra-wide mode, so the ultra-wide is curved. Let's go back to a normal mode, 1080p. And if I go in 1080p, you can see that the screen itself, it's still rectilinear. The sides are straight. So it's just the cutout when you're cropping it that shows the pincushion effect. So if your screen is not bigger than your field of view, you won't see it unless you move your head a little bit. But then if you move your head, for example, you want to see the bottom right of the screen, it's near the edge, so you don't see it clearly. So you would move your head a little bit. And then you would see this pincushion on the top left. But actually you're trying to look at the bottom right, so you wouldn't be looking at the top left, or you wouldn't notice it much because you're focusing on the other side. So to me, it's not a big issue. But, I mean, some people could be annoyed by it, and I understand it. Let's try to go back to ultra-wide. I wanted to show you ultra-wide. So in ultra-wide mode, the glasses would report themselves to the source device not only as a 1080p, but as a dual 1080p device, because they have two OLED 1080p screens. And that means that you would have a 3840 by 1080p screen that you can use, and you need to tilt your head to see the full width of it. Typically in that mode, you cannot change the distance or size much compared to the regular 3 degree of freedom mode. But that's still very useful, especially if you're using a tiling window manager. You could easily put 2 windows or even more side by side, and it's just very good for multitasking. So let's go back to the normal 1080p 3 degree of freedom, and I will try to show you the menus. So this is only one screen. If I tilt, there's nothing on the right, nothing on the left, so just 1080p. The menu is there. I can enter the first submenu, and then I can change the size here. So you can see that this one is smaller than my field of view. And then I can also change the distance. So this was the maximal distance, but I can make it closer to me now and zoom in a lot. So I think I showed you already what it looks like when we're in 0 degree of freedom, so I won't do it again. What I can show you, I told you that the reflections from the outside are completely eliminated, but there's a new issue coming with this design. These are these down reflections here. This is basically the top of the screen being mirrored on the bottom edge here. Can I focus? No. Yes. So the bottom edge of the optics here is flat now. So the top of the screen is being reflected into it. And you see it only in certain conditions. First of all, your eyes have to be pretty close to the optics, but that's the way I'm wearing the glasses. So for me, it's often the case. And then it's only when the top of the screen here is visible, so that would be that purple bar here. And then if you look with your eyes downwards without moving your head, then you can see the reflection. It's out of the field of view actually. So it's not going to be superimposed on the screen, so it's not nearly as inconvenient as the external reflections on the bird bath. But it can still be distracting because it's quite bright and it's also mirrored, so it can be annoying. I mean, the video makes it worse than it is in reality, because I would never see this much of it. Usually it would be like maybe like this. Yeah, like this maybe. So that can be annoying. Anyway, it's not too bad. I wouldn't advise against buying these glasses just because of this, but this might be something you want to know because it's not been documented very much so far. Also, one issue that I'm having with this is I think the anti-aliasing of the onboard chip is not perfect, or I don't know if there's one at all. So I cannot capture that on the video, but when I'm looking into it in 3 degrees of freedom, my head is constantly moving a little bit. It's never completely steady. And so that means that they are compensating to keep the screen in place. And for thin lines and text, I can see some kind of shimmer. That's what I called it before, but I think it's more like Moiré actually. So that means that the pixels are, I cannot distinguish the pixels, but they are not invisible either. So I can see it's like there's some kind of chromatic aberrations, or that some scintillating of the text. And that can be annoying. I don't know yet if it will be an issue for me for productivity, for working, because this is one of the uses I need the most. Media consumption and this. But so far it's okay, but I didn't work with them so much. So we'll see. I expect some eye strain because of this. It gets better when the text is big, but the smaller the text, the more irritating that can be. So that's it. I think I covered all aspects I wanted to talk about. I hope it was useful to you. Oh, I forgot this actually. Did I forget it? I don't remember. So they are sold with these frames here that they call Kaleido. They are supposed to be snapped in. And you could buy different colors, also stickers on the side of the same colors, but they are out of stock at the moment, and I removed them anyway because I think they are just I prefer the matte plastic here. These glasses look a little weird like this, but I think they are too shiny with this, and they catch fingerprints way too much to my liking when they have these Kaleido frames. I don't like it. It's always dirty or shiny or both at the same time. So I prefer this weird look that actually people may not notice because they are not going to be attracted by it. So that's it. I hope it was useful, and I recommend that you check also the reviews maybe not in videos, but in posts that people are going to post on Reddit, for example, and at the XREAL subreddit. See you.